Welcome back, movie fans. Today, we're diving into the critically acclaimed drama Good Will Hunting, starring Matt Damon, Robin Williams, Ben Affleck, and Minnie Driver. This film takes us through the journey of a young genius from South Boston who battles with his past and his potential. So, grab some popcorn, and let's get into it. Before we begin, did you know that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck actually wrote the screenplay for this film? They were just in their mid-20s at the time, and they even won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. Pretty cool, right? Will Hunting, played by Matt Damon, is a 20-year-old janitor at MIT, but he's not your average janitor. Will is a self-taught genius with a photographic memory. When he's not mopping floors, he spends his time solving complex mathematical problems that even MIT students struggle with. Will lives a modest life in South Boston, hanging out with his close group of friends. His best friend Chuckie, played by Ben Affleck, is like a brother to him. They work together on construction sites, drink beers at the local pub, and get into the occasional bar fight. Life is simple, but Will is hiding a much bigger potential. One day, Professor Gerald Lambeau, a Fields Medal-winning mathematician at MIT, posts a seemingly unsolvable math problem for his students. To everyone's surprise, the problem is solved by Will, the janitor. Lambeau is stunned. How could a janitor solve a problem that stumped his brightest students? After a little digging, he discovers Will's identity and realizes that this young man has an extraordinary gift. But Will's life isn't that simple. After getting into a fight and assaulting a police officer, he ends up in court facing jail time. Here's where things take a turn. Lambeau steps in, offering Will a deal. He'll get him out of jail if Will agrees to two conditions: study advanced mathematics under Lambeau's guidance, and attend therapy sessions. Fun fact, the idea of a young genius discovering his potential wasn't originally the focus of the script. Damon and Affleck's first draft was more of a thriller. It wasn't until they worked with director Gus Van Sant and executive producer Rob Reiner that they turned it into the emotional drama we know today. So, Will agrees to the deal, but he's not exactly thrilled about therapy. He goes through several therapists, mocking them all, until he meets Sean McGuire, played by the legendary Robin Williams. Sean is different. He's tough, compassionate, and he's not intimidated by Will's intellect. Sean is a community college professor and a therapist with his own painful past. He quickly realizes that Will's brilliance is overshadowed by his emotional scars. Sean sees through Will's bravado and understands that underneath his tough exterior is a young man who's terrified of being vulnerable. In one of their first sessions, Will tries to psychoanalyze Sean, poking fun at his life and even mocking a painting Sean made. But Sean doesn't back down. Instead, he opens up to Will about his own life, sharing personal stories that help build trust between them. This dynamic between Robin Williams and Matt Damon is electric. In fact, many of the therapy scenes were improvised by Williams. That famous "It's Not Your Fault" scene? Yeah, that was mostly ad-libbed. It shows just how powerful an actor Robin Williams was, blending humor with raw emotion. Now, while Will is working on his issues with Sean, he also starts dating Skylar, played by Minnie Driver, a Harvard student. Their relationship gives us a glimpse into Will's softer side. But as things get serious, Will's fear of intimacy starts to creep in. He doesn't know how to let someone in without risking getting hurt. Meanwhile, Will continues to work construction with Chuckie. Chuckie sees the brilliance in Will, but he's frustrated. He knows Will is capable of so much more, and in one powerful scene, he tells Will that if he's still working construction in 20 years, it'll be a waste of potential. Chuckie may be a loyal friend, but he also pushes Will to face his future. Speaking of friends, did you know that Ben Affleck's role as Chuckie almost went to another actor? But Damon insisted on casting Affleck, and their real-life friendship shines through in their on-screen chemistry. At the heart of Good Will Hunting are some big themes: genius versus upbringing, self-worth, and the fear of change. Will's struggle isn't just about his mathematical abilities, it's about accepting that he's more than his past. Through his sessions with Sean, Will starts to confront his deep-seated fears and the trauma from his abusive childhood. Sean helps him understand that it's okay to be vulnerable, and that his intelligence doesn't define his value as a person. One of the film's most moving moments is when Sean repeatedly tells Will, "It's not your fault," and you can see the emotional walls Will has built start to crumble. Meanwhile, Professor Lambeau represents the societal pressure Will feels to live up to his potential as a mathematician. Lambeau sees Will as a once-in-a-generation genius, determined to push Will into academia. But Sean sees Will as a whole person, someone who needs healing before he can decide what to do with his life. Interesting tidbit: the therapy sessions between Sean and Will were inspired by Damon's own experiences with therapy. He wanted to create authentic conversations about trauma and healing, and you can really feel that in these scenes. As Will's therapy progresses, the tension in his life starts to build. His relationship with Skylar becomes strained because he's afraid to open up to her. She tries to get close, but Will's fear of being hurt holds him back. At the same time, Lambeau and Sean clash over what's best for Will. Lambeau sees him as a mathematical prodigy who could change the world, but Sean believes Will needs to focus on healing emotionally before he can think about his future. This push and pull creates a lot of tension, especially when Will begins to realize that he's been avoiding his true potential out of fear. Robin Williams' portrayal of Sean is full of wisdom and warmth, and it earned him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. His role in the film is what gives it so much heart, and it's impossible to imagine the movie without him. As Will's journey of self-discovery continues, he's faced with a critical decision. Will he embrace his potential and pursue a new path in life? Or will he retreat back to the safety of what he knows? His relationships with Sean, Skylar, and Chuckie all come to a head as he makes a choice that will shape his future. But we won't spoil the ending for you. To see how it all plays out, you'll need to watch Good Will Hunting for yourself. Trust me, it's worth it. So, that's a glimpse into Good Will Hunting, a movie about genius, love, friendship, and finding your place in the world. Matt Damon and Robin Williams deliver unforgettable performances, and the film's themes of healing and self-worth are as relevant today as they were when it first came out. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives into your favorite films. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.